everyone, I'm Bella and thank you for joining me for another frog food drawing commentary. So let's get started. According to Canva's information, this took 55 hours and 9 minutes. I don't think I actually spent 55 hours on this. It did take me like a little over a week though, because half of it was just changing the colors and laying around with the canvas open. So that's probably where like 40 of those hours went. But oh, I also had 2 commissions while doing this. It was just like family commissions, just to see if I liked doing commissions. I don't like doing commissions, so I will probably not be doing a lot of commissions. It really threw me off having to like focus on other drawings while doing this one. My last 2 videos have only been, well, I did those drawings, like that was all I was drawing at that time. And then having to do other things in between really threw me off, especially since this is my first time doing environment. So not a good idea to do commissions in between or while doing a big project. That was not a good idea. Like I said, this was my first time drawing an environment. It was not easy. It was really challenging for me. I had to remind myself to use like, well, the line art was easy because I love line art, but the coloring was not. Because I picked a train which has like metal windows, and so you have to draw metal, and then it was also like, I didn't want to add other people, so I added plants. And I don't know how to draw plants, and there was no like reference. I didn't use a reference for the plants. So it was like a just big jumbled mess, and not a lot of like direction in my brain going on. It was just like randomness, and which isn't like my favorite way to draw. I usually like to see something and then draw it. You know, like have total focus, because or just like know exactly what I'm doing. Otherwise it just doesn't come out as well, and I start getting really stressed out. So I did discover that I love drawing people more than anything. I love drawing people, and I'm really interested in like humans. That sounds weird, but humans and like the human body and that sort of thing. I really do like that. I love anatomy, and I love expression, things like that. Love nature, but it does not come as easily to me as people do. So I'll probably be drawing a lot more people, dabbling in environments, in like rough sketches and like quick sketches and things, but I'm not sure that I'm going to like totally shift everything I do. I know that when something is challenging, you shouldn't shy away from it, and you should do it more so that you get better at it. But I'm just gonna do what I want and draw what I want. I am really focused on developing my skill. It's just like more focused on anatomy at the moment because that's what I'm really interested in, and I know I can get better at it. But to contradict myself, I am really glad that these videos forced me to try new things. Like the first video was a full body shot, which I hadn't normally done before then, and then the second one was like a anime poster collage type thing, which I hadn't done before then either. Well, I had done one time, but I had to revisit it. And this is a environment which I had never done before. It's good that I'm trying new things and figuring out what I like, what I don't like, or where I can improve and things like that. Also, new brushes. Brushes change everything. And if you don't use brushes you're used to, it can really jack you up. A while ago, I watched a video about like digital art for beginners video on YouTube, and the guy was talking about how he only uses square brushes because he really focuses on shape when drawing, which is really important. It's really important to have shape because I feel like shadows are always shapes, like everything is a shape, you know, and it is easier to get like squares and rectangles with square brushes, even circles and triangles, like more rugged looking shadows, and even like lighting. But I've only ever really felt comfortable with circle brushes and wet circle brushes because I just love the crazy control you have over the shadows and movements. I feel like circle brushes emulate pencils and pens, and then square brushes emulate like paintbrushes and markers. So I guess it depends on what you're used to traditionally, and if you're just starting out with traditional, or if you're just starting out with digital art and you haven't really dived into traditional art, that's not even relevant to you. But I mean, so a lot of people do move from traditional to digital, so yeah, it's an interesting like connection. But just because I use circle brushes does not mean that you need to use circle brushes. I really would like to enforce the notion that just because one artist does something doesn't mean that another artist has to do something. Everyone has their own workflow, and whenever someone tells you that, if you already have a thing going and someone says, well, I do it this way, and you change it, you really mess yourself up. I would encourage you to try other things, or you know what I mean, because you never know what could help you. I mean, I was scared of wet brushes and watercolor brushes until I tried them, and I had way more control over shadows and lightings and all that sort of thing. So I would try it, but don't think that you have to change your entire the way you work because of someone you admire. I can do that sometimes, and it really messes me up. I'll have a good thing going and change something, and then like I get stressed. It's not looking the way I want it to. I want to stop drawing. I want to take a break. Don't do that. Just do what you know, and then keep building on top of that, because nothing in art is like, everything is fluid. You can always learn in everything you're doing. There's people that like draw the same type of thing every day, and you can still get better at that thing even if you're doing the same thing. So yeah. So I know in the last video I said I was gonna get a Wacom for Christmas, which did and didn't happen. I had gotten a Wacom. My dad bought me one. The Wacom Cintiq Pro was like 27 or 26 inches, and it came in the mail. It came like really fast, and we were trying to set it up. We could not figure out how to get it to turn on. Like, could not figure it out. I don't know if my computer was too old. I don't know if we were using the wrong cables, or I know that specific Wacom also, or not needs, but you can use a separate computer drive to make it its own standalone computer, so it doesn't rely on your laptop. We didn't buy that, so that might have been the problem as well. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to bash Wacom or anything. I know they make amazing products. Tons and tons of professional artists and amazing artists use Wacom. I'm pretty sure this is just because I could not figure it out. But yeah, now I still use Apple and Procreate. I am really happy with Apple and Procreate and really comfortable with it. I mean, I've been using Procreate for as long as I've been doing digital art. And yeah, I can buy brushes from other people on Instagram and just look up brushes on Pinterest and things like that. And I can even use Clip Studio on my iPad as well. So yeah, I was really scared about the learning curve for me having to change softwares, but I think that I don't have to worry about that now. So I'm kind of relieved that I don't have to switch softwares. That would have been a nightmare. But yeah, so I might get another Wacom. I'm sure I will in the future. I know that you can draw on vector programs with the Wacom, like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff. So I mean, that's super appealing. You can't really do that with Apple yet. So yeah, I probably would change for that reason. But at the moment, I'm comfortable with Apple and Procreate, and I know those programs. I know Procreate really well, and I'm really comfortable with Apple Pencil and that sort of thing. So yeah. So now back to the piece, because I went on a tangent again. The color palette for this one was pastels. Usually I'm super crazy about blue and yellow, because like blue, yellow, and pink, because those are off-brand primary colors. It's they're basic, but they're not. They're different, but they're also basic. You know what I mean? Perfection. But yeah, I've never done pastels before. Came out great. They just seem really light and airy and happy. I feel like a ton of happiness is associated with light pink and light blue and light green. And so, oh, also this color palette is mainly just green and pink, but there's different shades of green. I do that a lot because I used to go crazy about the colors, a whole bunch of different colors. Now I'm trying to scale back and just be okay, basic color combinations and just different varieties of those colors, so that the whole thing is still very cohesive, you know? I changed the color palette and the color scheme a million times. I'm pretty sure 30 of those 55 hours were me just recoloring things. And when I look back at the Speedpaint and I can see in the beginning me just going through different color combinations, I'll be oh, it could have been that one, or it could have been this one, or what if it looked like that? Nothing I can do about that now though. I'm stuck with pastels. Love them, but then the possibility of what could have been, you know what I mean? I also use a lot of light effects in this piece. I use so much of the bokeh and stuff because I thought it made the the piece a little more interesting than it actually was. When I got to the point of like the plants, I realized that I wanted to change it, but by that time I had already shaded like the people and the rest of the train and everything and the seats and everything. And when you're like doing your project like that and you kind of have a deadline and you're like, well, I have to get this done so that I can get on to like planning for the video, you can't just go back and change things like that. At some point you have to finish. So I thought, well, to save it, I'll just do light effects. And lights are so interesting and lighting is so interesting, and it creates like a really immersive experience, visual experience, I feel like. So it's a good failsafe if you really need to use it. I have graphic design again this year. We love that class because it's easy and like a ton of fun and like no homework. So yes, I had it last year. I don't, not this class. I had intro last year, and this year I have graphic design production. Usually we would be like physically printing things and using like printing machines and like ink and that sort of thing. But since we're not in class, we have to do a lot of digital projects, which I'm all for that. Last year, I thought I was so good. I was not. I was a beginner. Oh my gosh. But like, let's not remember that. But this year, I made a vow to make all my projects amazing. So I've been exposing myself to a ton of graphic design on like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And in an effort to practice, all my, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of my drawings for these videos have been poster designs. So like that one, the Toy and Bella one, it looks like an anime cover, I think. And then the Christmas holiday card was like a card, and it was like a poster, a holiday poster, I feel like. And this one though is my favorite because of the big block lettering, the Metro, and then like you have the little line at the bottom, like the nonsense texts that you don't even know really what it says, but it's there for ambiance. We just love it. And I drew in a square because I really wanted to do that, but my parents were like, well, we need to keep it like a vertical for the video format. So I was like, fine. Then I just did this, and like genius, please. I'm so smart. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But since they look like posters, that also makes them really easy to just make posters. And that was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to make an Etsy shop. My brother does like 3D prints and makes things on the 3D printer for like, you know, miniatures or dollhouse type things. And I do, you know, drawings, so I thought it'd be cool to make stickers and prints and things like that. So if you're into that and you like my art and you want a poster, because they're essentially posters, then stay tuned. Don't wait on it, like don't hold your breath, but stay tuned. I want to make them about like that size, but we gotta find another place to do it because like that's way too expensive. I think it was like $20 just to print it, which is not right. It's not gonna work. So yeah. So the speed paint is done. I'm gonna leave it up here so you guys can stare at it. Thank you for joining me for another frog food drawing commentary. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at My Froggy Stuff and the Frog Vlog, and you can follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my art and like random selfies I take at Bella of My Froggy Stuff. If you get me to 10,000, I'll do like an Instagram sketch party, and you can do it. It'll be an Instagram live, and we can like draw together and stuff. And you can give me like random recommendations, and I'll just try and draw as fast as I can. I don't know what that is, but I just came up with it, and it's a great idea. So, bye!